Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Merchan, however you say his name, and the Democrats may have just committed their biggest blunder ever. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to UnwokeThoughts. So day 2 of the trial of Donald Trump's Stormy Daniel hush money case has concluded. But this is what Donald Trump had to say prior to walking into a building that used to be a court of law, or a courthouse.
Thank you very much. This is a trial that should have never been brought. It's a trial that is being looked upon, looked at all over the world. They're looking at it and analyzing it. Every legal pundit, every legal scholar said this trial is a disgrace. We have a Trump-hating judge. We have a judge who shouldn't be on this case. He's totally conflicted. But this is a trial that should never happen. It should have been thrown out a long time ago. If you look at Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, all great legal scholars, there's not one that we've been able to find that said this should be a trial. I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you've been indicted over that? I should be right now in Pennsylvania, in Florida, in many other states, North Carolina, Georgia, campaigning. This is all coming from the Biden White House because the guy can't put two sentences together. He can't campaign. They're using this in order to try and win an election, and it's not working that way. It's working the opposite way. So check that out. Legal expense. It's called legal expense. That's what you're supposed to call it. Mr. Trump, get indicted on that. Nobody's ever seen it. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. So thank you very much for coming. I'm now going to sit down for many hours. I am now going to sit down. The voters understand it. All you have to do is look at the polls. This is a sham trial, and the judge should recuse himself. This is totally conflicted. Thank you very much.
So Trump is being put on trial for paying a lawyer legal fees who paid off Stormy Daniels with hush money. That's essentially what's going on here. Well, it was not even Trump. It was an accountant that paid Michael Cohen, who made this decision, who did whatever he did. But apparently, Trump is culpable of this by in some wacky way. But this may have been a massive mistake on the part of the Democrats who control this corrupt judge. Because, he was talking about he should be in Georgia. He should be in Pennsylvania. He should be in Wisconsin, campaigning. But it may have been a massive mistake by the Democrats to make sure under the threat of imprisonment that Donald Trump attends in person the sham hush money trial, and that he must listen to every single excruciating whiny hour of Alvin Bragg's arguments as to why these trumped up charges against him are somehow legitimate. See what I did there? Trumped up charges? Because that's exactly what they are. Everyone knows it. But because Trump must attend this trial and is barred from attending his Supreme Court immunity hearing and even his own son's high school graduation, that's messed up. I can't believe this Judge Merchan, did this. But this means that Donald Trump will be spending a lot of time in New York City. Now, their main reason for doing this is, of course, to prevent Trump from campaigning and try to disadvantage him ahead of the election, because they know that with Biden, they can't beat Trump in a fair fight. And this is something we all know. But Stephen A. Smith, on his podcast, he said this. He is noticing this, and he has absolutely ripped into the Democrats for doing it. Listen.
To my liberal friends out there, all you're doing is showing that you're scared you can't beat them on the issues and the merits. That's why he keeps saying it's a political campaign against me. That's why he keeps saying they can't beat me at the election, at the polls. This is the only way they could do it. And if you don't put him in jail, and he still goes from being the presumptive GOP nominee to the official GOP nominee, and he goes to the polls, even though he was going to whine about winning and being rigged again, you have given more fodder to that argument, which means we'll never have peace in this country because tens of millions of people see what extent the other side is willing to go through just to keep him out of office because they can't beat him on their own merits. And they're going to say, hey, you trumped this up against him again. and we'll have no peace. When all you got to do is figure out a way to beat them on the issues. But you haven't been able to do it.
All you got to do is find a way to beat him on the issues. Come on, Democrats, that's all you got to do. You don't have to do all these illegal things, weaponize the justice system against Donald Trump, throw the DOJ and try to get him put in jail, try to get him taken off the ballot. All you have to do is figure out a way to beat Donald Trump on the merits, but you can't do it. And it's obvious. It's obvious with all these shams that are going on with Letitia James, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, E. Jean Carroll. You look at each and every one of these cases. Absolute maniacs are involved. And notwithstanding, Judge Merchan, with his fleet of Democrats that surround him, his daughter, his wife, who worked for Letitia James, and who refuses to recuse himself because he has an obvious conflict of interest. But Donald Trump, even though he has to attend this sham trial, and he is prevented from campaigning for probably at least a month to attend this trial, that will definitely be a conviction, I believe, at the end, because there's no justice for Donald Trump in New York City, or New York at all, I would say. But Donald Trump has a way of turning lemons into lemonade, right? And, Democrats, they don't like lemonade because it's sour, right? But Donald Trump, he has a way of turning a banned Twitter account into a multi-billion-dollar social media company, True Social. And Donald Trump, once again, is turning his difficult circumstances that the Democrats are putting him under into something that is good. And this may blow up in their face because New York City is a Democrat blue stronghold. But Donald Trump, it looks like, he has, Donald Trump, he's a strategist. He's like, okay, you guys won this one. But, I'm holding my own cards. I'm going to work within the bounds of what I can do. So what did Donald Trump do after court today? He went to Harlem and he essentially made a campaign stop. So he is campaigning in the heart of the Democrat stronghold. And guys, look at this right here, guys. Look at this. Look at the size of this crowd in the heart of New York City. Look at this. Thousands and thousands of supporters. And Donald Trump, he basically just stepped out of his car. And they're everywhere. The Democrats, they want to say that, Trump doesn't have any support. Everyone hates Trump. But in fact, his supporters are everywhere. And look at this. They're yelling and chanting 4 more years. So Donald Trump is turning his situation into something that is an advantage for him. And that could be a massive disadvantage for the Democrats. Imagine if Donald Trump turns New York red. Imagine how insane that would be. And I believe that he could. I believe that he 100% could. Is it likely? I don't know. Donald Trump, like I said, he has a way of turning bad situations to his advantage. And I use the example of when he was kicked off of Twitter. He was like, okay, you guys want to kick me off of Twitter? I'm going to start my own company, True Social. And it's now a multi-billion-dollar company. But this is Donald Trump. He's talking about making a play for New York. But he said, we're making a big play for New York. I love this city. And it's gotten so bad in the last 3 years, 4 years, and we're going to straighten New York out.
Number one, you have to stop crime, and we're going to let the police do their job. They have to be given back their authority. They have to be able to do their job. And we're going to come into New York. We're making a big play for New York. Other cities too, but this city, I love this city. And it's gone so bad in the last 3 years, 4 years, and we're going to straighten New York out. So running for president, we're putting a big hit for New York. We think we can win New York. With 500,000 migrants that poured in and take over the parks, they took over your hotels, they take over everything. It's no good. And you know what they've done? They've destroyed so many people. The African-American community now is not getting jobs. Migrants are taking their jobs that are here illegally. Hispanics are not getting jobs. Migrants are taking the jobs.
I mean, imagine if Donald Trump takes his ruling, this rule by Judge Merchan. Imagine if he does this and he says, okay, you want me to stay in New York City? You want to ensure that I attend every single hour of your disgusting sham trial against me? Well, guess what? I'm going to take your power from you. I'm going to flip this city. I'm going to flip this state from blue to red. Man, imagine how incredible that would be. And I believe Donald Trump could do it. And he needs to be campaigning every single day after his court date. He needs to be campaigning. On the weekends, he needs to go to Madison Square Garden fill up the arena, fill up Trump Tower, do all he can to throw this right back into these disgusting people's faces. Say, you think you got me? You think you can use the justice system? You think you could cheat against me? Well, guess what? Even if you try to, I'm going to work within your own bounds and I'm going to beat you at your own game. And I think that's what Donald Trump is so good at. And that's why they hate Donald Trump as much as they do. They know they can't beat him on merits. They know they can't come anywhere close to that. So they must lie about him, slander him, use the justice system against him, use corrupt judges, attorney generals, DAs against him. That's what they do. But he still comes up and he still wins. And that's what I love about Donald Trump. And I think that's what the American people love about Donald Trump. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Donald Trump and this idea that he could somehow turn this Democrat liberal stronghold against them and use it for his own advantage? What do you guys think about that? Let me know what you think about this down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.